what's up, guys? Boxing with B.
And right without the paycheck.
This weekend we saw on Saturday. Now, let me say this. We weren't even sure if we were going to get the Charlo fight.
Correct.
And then last minute, we're like, no,
Let's do it.
this seems real.
Looks like a good card. Let's do it.
Let's tune in. So we started off with Casimero, I hope I'm saying that right, versus Micah. I only caught the end of it because it was only like, what, 4:25, 4:30 that we had, I think around that we tuned in. And we only got to see I didn't even get to see the beginning of this fight because it was so quick. But the fact that Micah was undefeated, I think he was 24-0, and he lost that in a devastating manner.
Yep, it was stopped.
He was sent to the canvas.
Yes.
And he tried really hard to stay up. He had that fighter's mentality, you know. He was fighting on instinct at one point because when he got hurt, he got back up and he was still swinging. But even when the ref jumped in, he was still throwing.
Yeah, but
he lost that O.
He lost that O. The champion that's why he's a champion.
And then we saw Brandon Figueroa step back into the ring to defend his belt. Correct. He was successful.
What was the other guy's name? Vasquez, I think?
Damian Vasquez.
Vasquez brought it to him too.
Yeah.
But you could tell the difference. Figueroa.
He beat him down after, you know.
Yeah, there were some rounds you could give to the other guy, but Figueroa changed it around and adjusted to the fight and got the win.
Yeah. Then we saw Jermall Charlo against Derevyanchenko.
Jamal, my man. Good guy.
This guy always says the names wrong. I literally just said his name.
The Charlo brother, older brother. Good guy. Good man.
You thought, it was a good matchup.
Yes, it was.
A good matchup. What did you think of that fight?
For a while, I thought before they went in, I remember this guy fought Golovkin and gave Golovkin a handful. And also he gave a handful to Jacobs.
Yeah.
So I thought, the Charlo was going to, I knew Charlo was going to win. A lot of my friends thought he was going to be a knockout, but I knew the other guy he was an Olympian, had a good chin, and, had a good fight because these other guys that are also hard hitters.
Yeah.
I think Golovkin dropped him, but he got up. So I think this guy might have thought he was going to give Charlo a beating, but Charlo, wow.
Yeah.
He had a game plan to a point.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I think that he put on a great performance against Derevyanchenko. And I think, like you said, a lot of people were giving Derevyanchenko more props because of the fact that he fought Golovkin. He fought Danny Jacobs. And what I like about Charlo is that he mentions this. He doesn't put that aside. He said, I know he's fought these guys, but I'm someone else. I'm not Danny Jacobs and I'm not Triple G.
No, he's not. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
He brought it to him, and then there were some rounds that could have gone either way, but Charlo was winning the majority.
Yeah.
Plus Charlo did hurt him.
Yeah.
And it looked close. I thought he was going to fall to the ground, but I guess the guys got his equilibrium a little bit better. Didn't fall. So I thought the next round Charlo was going to beat him. No, that guy, he got his senses back and knew how to defend, move, and get out of the way. So, but that was a great fight.
And typically we'd be done already talking about these fights because there's, 3 main fights that get aired.
Yeah.
But this one was more than that. It was a double header. So then.
Yeah. But you see, I didn't like that big old intermission in between.
Oh, yeah.
God, I hated that. Those guys were boring too. Now we're talking that, they were boring. They were putting me to sleep.
And
basically.
That's when we tuned in to the Laker game.
Correct. But round 2 came on and here we go.
And then Daniel Roman came into the ring against a Payano. Roman was supposed to go in there and just dominate, but it actually ended up going to decision. After that was Neri. Neri stepped in the ring against Alameda. And Neri, he came out victorious. He won by decision.
Close.
But yes, it was close. And the reason you also know it's close is because in between each round, he was training with Eddie Reynoso. I think this was his first fight with Eddie Reynoso now in his corner.
New trainer.
And he was just, I don't know, Reynoso was mad at him. He went into the corner in the later rounds. He didn't let him sit down. He said, no, you're going to stand. And he was trying to already sit down, put his weight down. He's like, he pushed his hands off of the ropes and was like, no, stand up. And trained him like that. I tried to ice him down.
Because they trained for a long time and there's a game plan. And if you don't follow the game plan, what was all this hard work for?
Yeah. And then he even says something like, I'm tired. And then Reynoso was like, well, I'm tired too. And just kind of treated him like that. And after that round 2, it continued. And then at the end, he was trying to tell him basically you want to be a champion? He said, his translation was like, los campeones tienen huevos. And so basically told him, get in there
and finish
show him what you got.
Yes.
And then, with all that talk and stuff, even at the end of the fight, you can hear everything, right?
Yep.
Especially with this quarantine. And so Reynoso even tells him after the fight, Neri's kind of like, oh, let's see what the judges decide. And he goes into the corner and kind of wipes his head down. And he's like, what did he say? Something like, pon la mano arriba, güey. Levanta la mano, güey. He kept talking to him like that. Like, basically, tell the judges you won.
You won the fight.
Put your hand up.
Yes.
Show act like you won the fight.
Yep.
Feel that you won the fight. Don't be, let's see. What did they decide? No, he was in there telling, and the whole time he's like, esto cabrón, blah, 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 blah. Like, straight up, just
he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. Yes. Like I said, there's a game plan you work when you're training. Follow the game plan, you're going to win.
Yeah. Excuse my language, guys. I was just repeating. But then after that, we saw the second Charlo brother.
Yes.
Jermall Charlo. Jermall stepped into the ring with Rosario. Now, Jason Rosario, honestly, I did not expect that outcome. I did not expect him to get knocked out.
No, not a lot of people didn't, because this guy supposed to have a punch,
And the knockout is not that he was like out, eyes gone or anything. It was kind of weird. First off, the first round, he kind of like slipped, it looked like.
But it was still a counted knockdown.
There was a punch there, and it was counted as a knockdown.
Yeah.
And I was not really convinced with that yet.
But the second one,
obviously, it was
a knockdown.
No question about it. And then the third time that ended the fight, it was like
body punch.
Yeah, but it didn't seem like there was any power behind it, and it was just the right jab.
Like the suplex area, right to the right area.
It was like right at the belt line. Not a low blow, but right at the belt line. And I don't know what it did. It sent Rosario back. And I'm not even going to say that it looked fake, because it didn't look fake to me. It looked like it must have been a perfect shot that I don't know what knocked the wind out of him. It sent him down to the canvas. He kind of like sat back.
Yeah, and his body went into convulsions.
His whole head went backwards too. And then, yeah, exactly. He couldn't inhale, it seemed like. Yeah. And I was like, dang, what's wrong with him? Is he all right? But then even when they showed the replay, I just can't say that it was something fake. People would say, how would that punch do it? It just looked like it was such a perfect punch in the perfect spot that just lost all the air, and he couldn't get it back for a while.
Real boxers say the worst punch is a body punch.
Yeah. Exactly. It looked like when you get hit like with the liver shot and they can't get back up, and they're like, no
matter what you try to get up, you won't be able to get up.
That's what it looked like, but from a jab.
It doesn't matter. It's a powerful jab. Does it?
Yeah. Well, that's how he finished it. I'm telling you, I did not see that coming.
Well, Charlo got more belts.
I actually, on Twitter, I always talk to people, and one of them, I don't know his handle, but he said, he always tells me what his predictions are, right? And like with the Herring one, he had said he was predicting him to win by decision. Yeah. And then it ended because of the whole, like, he couldn't continue, so he won by that. This one, he said, I usually always go by decision, but for some reason, with this fight, I'm going to choose Charlo by knockout. And I was like, really? I was like, I don't know. Rosario's a pretty good fighter.
Puncher. Yeah.
And then that happened. I was like, oh, shoot, man, you called it.
You called it right.
Yeah.
Charlo's are out there.
But
both brothers.
That was a good card. Both brothers came out victorious. And I will say the second brother that went up against Rosario, when he entered the ring, his face, usually sometimes they'll come out with like the whole Lions gear and everything. They're all upbeat and stuff. This time when he came in, it's probably because he lost. Remember that one fight he lost?
But he avenged it?
He avenged it, yeah. And he even thinks that he didn't lose that first one. But on his record, it's a blemish.
Yes, it is.
That O is gone.
Yeah.
So I feel like now when he comes in, it's like
the
mindset is like, yeah.
Set,
and he even admits, you saw the behind the scenes where he even said, that loss, no one could talk to me because I was just kind of like basically like a grouch to everybody. Because, you're coming off of you had an undefeated record. You're used to that.
Something
you get your
there
first
for the rest
loss.
of your life,
exactly.
on your career.
But when he entered the ring this time, all seriousness, you couldn't really read him. You're like, is he scared? Is he worried? What's going on? No, he was in the zone. After you saw that performance, he was just in the zone.
Yep. Well, he's a 3-time world champion now.
Got to give it to him. Props.
Yep.
The Charlo brothers came out on top. And now, all of a sudden, all of these people are jumping on their bandwagon, including today I saw Drake.
Wow.
Now he's posting about him like the Charlo brothers are the future or something like that. It's like,
The Charlo brother is the
you're
future.
a bandwagoner.
You know, like I always called it. Remember, I'm calling it again. I want Charlo to fight Canelo. I want Canelo to man up.
That's the other brother.
Yeah. I want Canelo to man up. What does Charlo need to do? He's beating everybody now in that division.
That's true.
He has a WBC, but supposedly Canelo has the superior WBC. There it is. Match him up. Charlo's calling him out. He ain't afraid. He ain't afraid. I'd love to see that.
I don't know what to say.
That could be another big pay-per-view. You want a big paycheck, right, Canelo? Charlo's there.
Yeah, I forgot who he's fighting. I don't even know if I know.
No. Yeah, he wouldn't. I bet you Charlo, he would have said, oh, no, something to zone or something like that's not paying me. Oscar De La Hoya, man, I feel for you, man. This guy's betraying you.
Yeesh. On that note.
Yeah. Lights out.